Hey guys, it's Amanda and Dani with you again, and this video pertains to the 6th graders who in their spectrum books are working on calculating the surface area of a rectangular prism. So the first thing we need to understand is, what is surface area? Well, when we're measuring the surface area of a 3D figure, of a figure that has volume, we have to imagine the figure as if it were laid out flat. So the way that we would measure is we would have to measure the area of each of the faces of the figure. So here we have a rectangular prism. How many faces does a rectangular prism have? The face is the flat surfaces that make up the solid. So here we have 1 face, 2 faces, 3 faces, 4 faces, 5 faces, and underneath our 6th face. A rectangular prism has 6 faces. To measure the surface area of this rectangular prism, we'll have to measure the area of each of those faces and add them up together. Okay, I'm going to read you here the description. It says, to measure the surface area of a solid, you have to calculate the area of each face of the solid. The face of the solid is the name given to the flat surfaces that make up the solid. A rectangular prism has 6 faces. Okay, so I'm going to erase so that we can start our calculation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the area of this face. Okay, so how do we measure area? Well, we measure it as base times height. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units in our base, and 1, 2, 3, 4 units in our height. Okay, so that will give us the area of this face. So we have base times height, which equals 5 times 4, which equals 20 units. That's face 1. Now we need to measure the area of this face. Okay, here we have 5 units as the base and 3 units as, here it would be the height, or we can think of it also as the width, because it's how far back our solid goes. So here in our second face we have base times the width, which is our base of 5 times our width of 3 units, which equals 15 units. Okay, and now we're going to measure the area of this face. Okay, so should I turn it? Or like that? Okay, so here we have how far back our solid goes, which is 3, our width of 3, and we have a height of 4. So here we have our height times our width. Okay, we had a height of 4, our width of 3, and that gives us an area of 12 square units. Okay, so now we've measured 3 of the faces of this rectangular prism. What I want you guys to notice is if this first face repeats itself in another part of the prism. This is the face with the base of 5 and the height of 4. Where else on this prism do we have exactly the same face? Over here, right? The face that's on the back side of this prism is exactly the same measurements. If I didn't have it here in front of me, if it was drawn on a paper, I would understand that this face is the same as this one. So what I need to do with the area of this face is multiply it by 2, because I have it 2 times. And that would give us 20 times 2, which is 40 square units of the area of these 2 faces. Let's check this face, the face where we had the base of 5 and the width of 3. Where else on this solid does this face repeat? We have it here, and we also have it underneath. Okay, so the same. I need to multiply this area by 2 because I have the same area 2 times. So 15 times 2 is 30. And I have a total volume of 30 squared units on this face and on the one that's on the bottom. And now let's look at this face, the one that had a height of 4 and a width of 3. Where else does this face repeat? Well, on this side. So once again, I need to multiply this area by 2, and 12 times 2 gives us 24. So I have a total volume of 24 square units of this face and of this face. And now what do I need to do with all of these measurements of the volume of the area of the different faces is add them up to find the entire surface area of my rectangular prism. Okay, so I have 0 plus 4, which gives me 4, and 4 plus 3 plus 2, which gives me 9. So the surface area of my rectangular prism is equal to 94 square units. Remember, we're talking about area now. We're not talking about volume. We're talking about area, and area is always measured in square units. If I were to measure in centimeters, it would be centimeters squared. If I were to measure in kilometers, it would be kilometers squared. Since we're talking about area, our units are always measured in square units. Okay, guys, let me know if you have any trouble. Have a great day.